What is up, everybody? Audio should be good. All right. Actually, I don't have the chat up. Let me get that up and going. There it is. Let's move it so I can see what's going on. There we go. All right. Back to normal. Sort of. Welcome to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Lewis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I always remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. If it's your first time here, then welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself so you can get into the chat, hang out with the Camera Junkie crew. And as tradition goes around here, the first thing that we always do is go ahead and check out to see who are the first Camera Junkies hanging out with us tonight. So let's go ahead and check it out. We have Parker Jennings in the house saying hello to everyone. Jeremy as well saying, hey gang, after a very long week with Ecamm Leap, looking forward to kicking back with Mr. Camera Junkie. I appreciate it. It was pretty much a hectic week and I'm keeping it going, so to speak, seeming that I have a lot of things going, including I'm going to be looking at my potential new place to move into on Monday. And this is kind of like one of the last ones that I was looking at. I had checked out the address, and not to get too deep into it, but certain things that I do, like I drive to that location late at night to check out how the environment is at night, and it was just the most peaceful, just as we can say, like no red flags. So I'm gonna go check it out on Monday, and it's probably gonna be the place that I'll be moving into next. So more on that to come once we get into that. So yeah, very hectic week, and because of all this hecticness is why I'm editing today, because instead of saying not do a live stream and edit or do a live stream and not edit, I was like, you know what, let's combine them both and let's edit on the live stream. So we also have Gretchen in the house saying hi to the MCJ crew. Says Bob watching from his channel while I'm on camera. Oh, awesome. Randy's also here saying love the thumbnail. Hello everyone. All right, trying some new things, so I'm glad to hear that you like the thumbnail. All right, so first thing that I have to do before anything is that I have to be father. I have to be a dad. And Aiden's got his snacks, but I need to make or finish making his protein shake. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then get right back to it. So in the meanwhile, I'm just going to pump up the jams. Okay, and if you have any questions whatsoever, drop them down, as you'll see me being a mixologist sort of right here. So just a couple more of these ingredients. Gretchen seen me do this in person. Oh, Ecamm just letting me know that my disk space is low, which makes sense. So let me go ahead and open up. I'm in Ecamm, right? Okay, yeah. System settings. We're gonna do video or the recordings tab, and we're just gonna turn off all the broadcasts or the recording. All right, so we'll just leave that. I have to make a mental note to turn that back on. All right, let me close it up. What did I do with the, oh, there it is. Close that window. Banana, blueberry, and blackberry is the answer to Gretchen's question over here. What's Aiden's flavor for tonight? Why isn't it coming on the screen? There it is. All right. Here you go, man. All right. Now that that's done, let's get back to the chat real quick. All right. Cinematic Birds in the house. I'm over here also close to it just so I can read it. I think I have this light on too bright. Yeah, it's at 25. Let's bring this down. 10%. Should still be bright enough, but allows me to see what's on the teleprompter here. Jeremy says that he's pulling his hair, pulling my hair with the different filaments. Getting flow rates, temperature, and position is hair pulling adventure. I don't have many tokens left to spend in the hair department. That's funny. And yeah, should be good. It's one of his favorites. All right, so today we're gonna get into, like I said, we're gonna hybrid the live stream, and what we're going to do is that we're going to edit together. So I'm gonna go ahead. I edit in Final Cut Pro if it's the first time that you're watching here. So just to give you an idea of where I'm at with what just happened. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Oh no, but I'm. Hold on. Okay. Everything better in this scene? Yeah. Let's bring down the music. There we go. That should be a good. Sorry for the audio issues there. I saw that like it was jumping and it was doubling my microphone and everything, but I guess I hit something and it created a new scene. I created a new scene right off the bat, or I jumped to one that maybe was called new scene, but it was all jacked up as we all saw. No, I think it created 2 new scenes. But that's enough about that. I'll delete those later. Okay, so what I was saying before I messed things up was that the idea for this video is that I'm making a bit of a like spoof on the upcoming FX2. So I'm doing a play on this, and one of the challenges that I put myself for this video is that I was gonna make it a video and I wasn't gonna make it a talking piece. It was like you're either gonna watch what I put on the film because it interests you or not, and that was the challenge. So like no real speaking. I think I am gonna add a section to the end of it where I do speak when I talk, when I start getting a little bit into the product that I'm revealing, so to speak. And in that whole sense, that I'm gonna try to write on the coattails of this new release for Sony camera, because the specs that we talked about of this camera last week has a lot of similarities to cameras that already exist, including the Sony A7C II. So we'll get into that. And now let's go ahead and open up Final Cut Pro. Okay, and now that that's open, let's go ahead and switch the scene. There we go. All right, so we're looking at my Final Cut Pro timeline, and I'll try to do my best to, you know, keep up with the chat. Yeah, we're still not getting double audio now, right? Jeremy, give me the thumbs up to make sure that the audio is fine now. But yeah, so this is my new rig. And now that you guys are getting the inside scoop of what's to come, you know, I don't really think that there's going to be a lot, or that the majority of the people who are going to watch this video are on tonight's live stream. So I'm not really too worried about the disclaimer, so to speak, of you guys knowing what's coming up ahead. But I was trying to get this video done by yesterday, actually, by Friday. That didn't happen because I needed to record some footage and the weather was not compliant here in South Florida. But let me go ahead and I'm gonna shrink my timeline. Now you're gonna see me edit, so while I'm editing, I'm gonna try to narrate the best as possible. But at the same time, if you guys have any questions or like about how I'm editing or how I'm doing something, please feel free, because that's what I also want to be able to provide on tonight's live stream. So if you see that I did something and you're wondering how I did it, please ask, so that, you know, I can share that bit of information, because without the questions, I really don't know what it is that you guys do or don't know. So with that being said, put a Q colon in front of any questions that you might have, so I can guarantee that I won't miss them. All right. Where I left off, I'm just gonna go ahead and play, and I really don't have any audio to it. I did snatch a couple of things that I don't know if I'm gonna be using, but potentially I might be throwing that in the front of it. You understand? Just to give it a little extra sense. So this is where I have it so far, just the B-roll, and then just adding the little bits of information. So this right here, as you can see, it says real-time recognition autofocus. That's exactly where I was at. I was adding the text overlay. So that's exactly where I'm at on the timeline. So as you can see, that's, you know, let's see how I move into the next shot. Okay. Explaining more. I'm planning up. You see that little bit right there during the fade in the B-roll, which I snatcheth from Sony. It was already moving into the next shot. You see, I don't want that to be shown whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and shrink the fade to see. Okay, you see, and just by doing that, it allowed less of that shot to be shown. Bam. See how quickly I fixed that? So I'm gonna go ahead and redo it, right? And you can see I don't want that to be shown whatsoever. Like this breathtaking imagery in full frame, no, like that needs to be out. So instead of trying to cut the actual image out of the like video file, I understand that just by shrinking the time space that I'm giving it to actually create the fade is actually doing the effect that I want. Now, let me go ahead and check. Jeremy didn't give me the thumbs up if it was double audio, but I think we're fine. I'm checking my signals. Okay, so where's my mouse? There we are. Okay, as soon as I shrink that down, I no longer get that, and I move into the next you know, shot, which is showing the 2.4 million megapixels, in-body image stabilization, side access. Now here, this is where I need to drop some information. Okay, so what I want to do is convey the same information that was overlaid, but with my own text. So I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully, I think you guys are seeing a big, no, you're not. Oh, and that window's not showing everything. So you know what, let me fix this on eCam real quick. Because you're not seeing the top part of Final Cut Pro. So let me unlock this real quick. I always lock my scenes, so no, it was option here. Is it an option or is it shift? No, it's option, but you see, I'm not gonna rant right now. I'm not. So hey, Chocolate Twist Yoga, what is up? Telling me that the audio is great, but oh Oh my God, Kali is in the house. How are you? It's been such a long time. So good to hear from you here in the chat. That's so cool. It's been a long time and I hope you're doing well. Okay. So that was a bit of a scroll moment. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. I'm fixing the Final Cut Pro window. All right, let's move this down. Let's shrink it over here. Okay, that's showing much better of what I'm doing. Okay, that's the line right there. Okay, you're seeing way more of Final Cut now. Perfect. Now, once again, we're gonna lock the scene. Bam. Okay, let's get back to Final Cut. Okay, so where I was at, I'm gonna come up here. And actually, the last thing that I wanted to check. Oh, that OCD is gonna kill me right now. I gotta fix it. I got to. Sorry, guys. I have to. Like this is not. There we go. Much better. I'll leave myself offset. Once again, we're locked into my scene. And to not scroll off even more, what was it? Oh, the information. So I'm gonna come up here, up to my tab, and once again, this is what I wanted to check. Nope, that's the wrong one. How do I get rid of this? Oh, because it's on screen. Close window. Bam. I need to be in Ecam. Man. Aiden's toy is going off right now. And I know you guys don't hear it in the back, but man, I am on a set of distractions here. Okay. So what I'm looking at right now is my Ecamm, and on the screen sharing, mouse cursor. There we go. Gigantic. Better. So I switch this up. So now when I come over here, you guys are seeing a big cursor. See? I had saved that, but I think I did it on the wrong profile. So when I switched to this profile, that's why I didn't have the big mouse cursor. Okay. This should be easier for you guys to follow along. That's the whole point. Okay. Right up here, right? We're going to click into kind of our special effects and our plugins. That's our plugins. So what I'm looking for is the same effects that I've been using this entire time, which are like the glitch effects. So I have one set up and I just need to find it because I was in a completely different profile. So is it premium? No, I think it's the Leno. So let me see here. Should be under G, right? Nope. Glitch titles and lower thirds. Bam. Perfect. Okay. So let me make sure. Yep. These are the ones that I was using. So just because they're all the same glitch style, I've been using the ones that don't have a color. If they do have a color, I've just been kind of removing it, but just to keep them within the same style in the same family. So this one's the super glitch lower, right? That's not one that looks very informative. Frantic, nope. Modern. Now, if you're in Final Cut and you really don't know exactly what the effect is gonna look like, because I'm already used to them, I'm just quickly scanning over them. But if you, just a trick that you guys, if you didn't know, you can select it and hit the space bar and it's gonna start playing in that window and showing you that, and it's just going to keep looping to show you exactly what that effect is going to be doing for you, right? And you see it on the lower thirds. So if I click the next one, because I didn't click pause, it'll just continue to loop the next one and just keep displaying it to you so you can see what it is doing. But I think I'm going to go more into glitch titles, you see, instead of lower thirds. And another trick is that you can just hit the down arrow to just continue to scroll through them to see which one it is that you like. And this one seems pretty cool, right? You see the lorem ipsum in the bottom, right? And it says distortion, but Yeah, I think this one's good for the amount of focus points that exist actually within that. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. All right. Right. So I like this one, and I'm gonna use it for this same exact scene. So I'm just gonna grab it and drag it right over the timeline, and it's gonna live right there on top. Now, as you can see, once it goes over the green, not really doing too well as far as the contrast with that shot. But we're gonna change that. We're gonna select it here, and we're gonna change the color from white to, let's do dark gray. Aiden is now bugging me. What do you need? Is the battery dead? Yes. Look. Nope. Another one on the fly. Dad duties. All right. He's doing awesome. I'm just seeing Chocolate Twist responding. She's saying, "Hope you and nephew are doing well too." He is doing amazing. As you can see, he's bugging me to change the batteries on his favorite devices. So that's what I'm doing right now. I believe these are AAA. And they are. Okay. I think I changed the batteries on this device weekly. Like, it's one of his favorites. He uses it all the time. Okay. Even so, we're gonna check it out over here. I don't know if we can. Yeah. So you can see on my status board. I have the battery quick deployment system. This will allow us to finish tonight's edit. Here you go. Right. And that's all the stuff that you don't hear that goes on in the background over here. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, another thing that I'm seeing, even though that I want to get the correct information on this timeline, changing the color, even if I go to black, right, which is the biggest contrast that we can get, even using black as the color for this animation, the font is definitely not working. So that's something that we're going to change right away. I'm going to go over here and let's go to something that I'm more familiar with, whether it's Futura or Anton, which is one that I use a lot. Arial Black, right? Something simple, whether it's what's the other one? The one that Doc uses all the time? Um it's with the M. Oh my god. Let me just look for it. Because to try to remember it right off the bat right now. Yeah, Montserrat. That's Doc's favorite right here. But he uses the one that's not bold but black. Let's see here. Oswald is pretty good. Oh, I don't know why it's Oswald stenciled. No, Oswald regular. There we go. I like Oswald, right? It's got like a very like classy look to it. Okay, so we're gonna change the word distortion. Let me close out this window here. And biggin. Oh yeah, Gretchen got it. You see? She knew exactly which one it was. It was on the tip of my tongue and I couldn't get it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I actually just want to kind of reuse the same thing. So I'm gonna go over to that section of the video, right? And click on here to just remind myself that it has 759 point phase detection. Point phase, not phase points. which I think I've said a lot on the live stream. So I'm correcting myself. That was more for me. Okay. So 759 point phase detection points. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to the glitch title. So we're going to write 759. Oh, wow. Oh, I misspelled all of this stuff. Did I even mess it up because I added another point phase detection autofocus? That was the part on the back end that I need to put. AF. There we go. All right. So now that I wrote it all out, right? I don't like how it's set up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click right behind the detection. I'm going to backspace it one, and then I'm going to hit enter to kind of create a second line. And even though I'm seeing it there, it doesn't pop, right? So I'm going to go back to leaving it the way it is right here, but I'm going to change the font once again. I'm going to look for something that definitely has a lot more presence here so that it's easy to read. And this is one of the things that I actually like about Final Cut when it comes to editing, which is like other programs. I'm not going to say which ones, some Adobe programs that will tell you the name of the font but won't actively like show it. They might have changed it in the update. I'm just talking crap, but I really don't know because it's been so long that I haven't used it. But it's one of the things that I think is really cool of the Final Cut Pro, or more of an Apple thing. You understand that I can see exactly what is going to look like on the display in real time. So you could just kind of like, you know what? You could just scroll like I'm doing right now and see which one pops out. That one's pretty good. Ventura. So classic. Damascus. Bebas. All right, we're going with Bebas. Or Bebas. I always say Bebas. Bebas. All right, and we're going to go. Oh, no. We got to have like Bebas Bold or something, right? We only have regular option. Anton it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it bigger. Line spacing. The tracking. Okay. All right. Let's see the other colors over here. We're just going to make these black as well. That one didn't take. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's so small. I'm looking for the other text, and I'm like, I don't even see the lorem ipsum. All right, so let's just remove it altogether. I don't know if you guys are seeing like the delay from me clicking right? And then it doing it on the camera, because it's super trippy to me. Now, I'm just gonna bring this up as a side note because it just happened, but you guys have heard me complain before of my keyboard, right? Even though I love it because of the functionality of it being wireless, on battery, with like my three main devices connected to the main three like connections, which is my Mac Studio, my Mac Mini, and my Vision Pro. The one thing that drives me nuts is that it just doesn't have a always on feature. So it's always like it goes into sleep mode, and I have to like hit a key and then wait for it to like reconnect and then start doing the typing, which has always been a pain. But I opened up the Logic, controller app today, and it said that it had an update for my keyboard. So I updated the keyboard. And the latest update, what it's doing now is that it's keeping a memory, and it's pretty interesting because it's their way of like bypassing the problem that I've been having. So they kind of fixed it, which is you hit the keys, and before you would type out a word and you'd be halfway through the word before the connection happens. So whenever you'd like go look at your text, the first 4 to 5 letters of that word were always missing, because you were typing before the connection was actually made. Now it's keeping a memory of what you're typing, right? And once it reaches the connection, then it like preloads those texts, right? And then catches up. So it's interesting because what it's doing is that now it's effectively allowing you to use the keyboard, right? And I usually write everything out and just stand back and wait for the keyboard to then send the signal to the computer. It's a bit trippy, but it's been working. So if you guys have one of these keyboards, check your updates. It might help you out with this. All right. Now, going back to the edit. You see this circle right here, right? Right here in the center, it's moving around and changing and adjusting, right? That allows me to change the size, right? By grabbing it and dragging. But it also allows me to move the position, which I think right here looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just run it to see exactly how that's like gonna play. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and check this one out as well. Okay, I'm not gonna, that's the bigger point that I wanted to. Let me see how I feel about adding that approximately 94% coverage rate, right? It says with approximate 94% coverage with the little asterisk. You know what? I'll leave that bit of information out. It's not like I'm actually making this video for Sony. All right, so leave that there. Actually, you know what? What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna have this glitch effect come in before the phase dots, right? So perfect. You see, I just squeezed it back on the timeline a bit, and now once I press play on it, you see, it has that, and then you're reading that while it's showing you. That works for me. You know, they say done is better than perfect. I just don't know. You know what? Let's go ahead and check the color wheel, right? And if I know that the background is green, we're going to use the color wheel to our advantage, right? So here's a quick trick, right? We're going to select this, and I'm going to grab the text of the 759 phase auto detection, point phase detection autofocus, and I'm going to open this up again, right? If we look at the color wheel, right? We look at green, which is on the upper left-hand corner, right? Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and... Is it working? There we go. So now we're zoomed in, right? Is it zooming? I don't think it's showing the zoom. It's zooming on my computer, obviously, but oh no, that's my bad. Because I'm not showing you my monitor, I'm showing you what's in Final Cut. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it right now, just to show you the zoom. But this little color wheel right here, or basically any color wheel. You know what? I'm going to go do it. Because this is Ecamm, so I'm going to go ahead. And I'm going to... I know you guys are seeing me on Final Cut, but I'm actually on Google. Hold on. Let me just grab an image of one. Bam. Okay. Now that's downloaded. This is what I'm gonna do. All right, so you guys should be able to see this color wheel right here, right? The demonstration is that the color that we have in the background is the green from the green detection phase detect. So in the color wheel, we're simply just gonna go 180, right? And 180 leads us to red, letting us know that green and red are opposite, or what's the word? Complementary colors. So whenever you mix these two or use them in contrast, it always works best. So I could go a little bit off in pink, or maybe orange, maybe a hybrid of like red orange, but red obviously is going to be the best contrasting color on this. So let's go ahead and try that, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select red. Don't like it too much. Let's go ahead and do orange. It's almost there, so let's go ahead and try to make our own, a hybrid of red orange. That looks pretty good. It definitely contrasts a lot better, so it's easier to read in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm still not happy with the font. Just still not happy with the font. Or maybe it's that I think I know what it is for me. Just to let you know, it's the uppercase and lowercase. So even though that's the correct term, I'm just going to make it all caps. So let me go ahead and close this. And I'm going to rewrite this. Wasn't that a... It changed the font altogether. Okay, I'm like, what just happened there? What? Like, I'm not even gonna ask. Whatever. Okay. See, that already looks a bit better for me as well. Okay, once again, I'm gonna increase the size. All right, and let's see how it plays out once again. All right, that's good enough in my opinion. Let me see what you guys are saying. Gretchen says Adobe will list every font that it ever came through on your computer, but does it mean will be supported? It's a very frustrating thing. You see, but that's Adobe. It's a little jab, but it's not like it's a really bad program. Red and green, or vice versa, hard to read for those with even moderate color blindness. Oh, that's right. You see, that's such a good point. So let's go ahead and see if we can switch something out. If not, maybe we can add like a border, or what's they call God, words are hard today. All right, let's go back to it. So you know what? Let's see if we can just break through with white. No, it will definitely need See if it has that option. Like a border, I forgot the name, that the correct name for it right now. You know. So again, I'm gonna try gray. Okay, you know what? Another trick that I just did was I squinted my eyes, right? Just to kind of like blur everything out on purpose to see exactly how. Now, I find that if I leave it there, the word detection, AF, and point are perfect, but phase gets lost with the H, and the SE kind of get lost within the shadow of the shot behind it. So in this case, I'm going to, you see, shrinkify it, or unbiggen. There you go, Jeremy. Reverse biggen, right? And see if I could find another section where everything is kind of read correctly. Ooh, that looks pretty good right there. Okay, standing back. See? Thanks for that tip. Because it's true, it's like the Christmas colors. That's always been the colorblind colors. Okay, we have a line in the background. Just recognizing this. That's going through the word detection. And I believe, yep, I'll just shut down the opacity. Done. It's gone. Okay. So we'll just leave that there. Yep, because the as as the shot pans from left to right, or right to left in this case, right there, like the missing, you know, like that you would say the S, the A, the S, and the E in the word phase clear up, right? We start losing a bit of the 7, but at that moment you've already registered that. So 759 point phase detection, AF. All right. That works fine. This already has, as you can see, the text in it, dust and moisture resistant, right? We move to the next shot, active cooling. All right, so right now I'm just gonna play the whole thing so far to see where it's at. I think that shot needs to be exposed better. It seemed very dark. I'm gonna try something real quick here. See what happens. Okay, you guys lose the image, but I get to see it a bit better. Because I just clicked the button up here, right? And this button just spreads the image to the next screen to actually use my dual monitor setup. So that allows me to kind of see it in full. Yeah, that I have to definitely fix that. That's way underexposed. All right, so let me go ahead and switch this back. All right, way underexposed. Like that's the brightest part of that scene. So let me go ahead and hit my adjustment layer. I'm gonna click this, and let's see if I bring my highlights up. See what that does. Okay, that brightens it up a bit. Shadows. Oh, that's washing it out. I just get a message. Feedback. Feedback? You're getting like feedback from the mic? Is that what happened? I just got a message from Randy, so thanks, Randy. Let me know if that was for me. Right now, my mic doesn't say or show anything like that, but we march on. Okay. Kathy's saying shadows. I might have to crush the shadows a bit to keep the darkness, and now I'm gonna use the global. Oh, that did not look good whatsoever. So let's go ahead and back up those 2 steps. I might end up replacing this shot if I don't find, like, you know. So FYI, just throwing that in there. I'm gonna leave it like this for now because we're definitely getting close to the hour. So, all right. Gonna leave that one there. This is right now. Expandable, customizable design. So we got that there. Branding. And now some demonstrations. We got some clips. I don't like those right next to each other. They're way too similar. All right, so I'm gonna take this one and just drop it to the back and see if that even makes the cut. That one, I don't know, I didn't feel it. Like maybe too shaky. I love this track. So as well, we're gonna move that to the back. We'll see if that stays, or here's the cutting room floor. Okay. So I like it kind of like once it starts moving down. So I'm gonna go ahead and click it, and I'm gonna shave off the front end. So it starts there. I definitely don't like the black bars on the side. I have not zoomed in. So let's go ahead and go back to the finder here and go to 113, because that's the number for all of these shots. Click 113, fills it up perfectly. Let's run that back to see exactly how that looks. Switch. You see, I feel when I said switch is where I feel that's where the cut needed to happen, and that's where I'm gonna make the cut. There. So I'm gonna stop it here, and just to show you guys, I will now cut the back end to fit there. Boom. 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 See, even that one's also like that one, I think fits better to go right after, and it looks like it's even slow motion. Okay, but once again, let's clip this one and we gotta zoom it in to 113. Now that's like a really cool minimalistic setup, right? And I'm using the iPhone with the monitor and control app to connect to it. Now, something that I wanted to show you guys or explain just real quick was because the connection's wireless, right? I'm a one-man crew. So what I actually did was I set one of my phones on top of this rig, right? But I connected it to the camera that's actually recording, right? So I had my FX30 on my rig or on my tripod, right? Sitting there, and I had the monitor on the phone, you know, controlling that camera on the tripod, but I had it physically on the camera that I was, you know, demonstrating. So it was pretty like meta, the fact that I was directing right in front of the camera while using that phone to broadcast what was being recorded on the tripod camera. Hopefully I was able to explain that correctly, but actually, you know what? Let me see if I can show you the last shot to give you more context. Yeah, right here. So as you can see, in this rig, right, the phone that I have on top is actually controlling the camera that's recording the video. As you can see, like I'm jumping in front of it, and as soon as I press stop recording, that's when my FX30 stopped recording. So if you're someone like me who does, you know, like your own type of videos and you're a one-man production crew and you're trying to get B-roll of this, I highly recommend you look into this app. And it's something that just spawned on me today. I was like, you know what? I don't need to have the camera that I'm controlling be like it be on top of that camera. So it gave the right aesthetic, right? But it allowed me to not be behind the camera and still control the camera. So that's your pro tip for today. As you can see, I was wearing the same shirt because it was about to rain, and I was like, you know what? I just need to get some of these handheld shots as well, right? With this rig. Boom. So let's go ahead and do it. And I did that earlier today. So go back to the timeline. Oh, that's crab mode. So I'll leave you guys with that. You understand? For those of you who are interested. So I'm making this kind of like an embargo video, and I'm having fun with it because I'm gonna mess around with the thumbnail and the title of it, and it's gonna be the release of my Rig Junkie setup for the A7C Mark II. So that's where we're at with this video. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think I've done here, or how I can make it better. You understand? I still haven't released it, so I'm in the process of editing. And oh, that's a good shot. That was a good shot. I like the way that flowed. Bam. Okay. So that one's going in. Maybe not the pull back, right? The zoom out, but the drop down from the phone to the body. I like it. Vertical rig setup. I gotta tell you guys, like, my vertical rig setup I absolutely love. So you guys are getting a little sneak peek at this because it came out a lot better than what I thought. So yeah, I'll see if that one hangs in there, and then these two might just hit the cutting room floor, and we'll figure it out. Right now we're about like 3 minutes. I'm gonna be adding some more, you know, of the same text overlays onto those other clips to give more information about like the cable management and things like that. And then at the end, just basically, you know, introduce myself and talk about my Rig Junkie setup for the I'm already calling it the FX2C. No, but for the A7C Mark II. So that's where we're at with it. And thankful as always that you guys hung out here with me. Hopefully you learned something as far as editing or something in that form. But I had someone here which I don't think I pulled out. But you know what? If you give me a second, we're gonna do it together. Yeah, give me a second here. All right. Let's go ahead and do. Let's do this right. I got too many windows open. We're closing them all. We're closing them all. Okay. There we go. Now let's click this button to go back to Ecamm. We go to Camera A. Perfect. Which allows me to hit this button and say, we're here for Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. And this week's Cities God is Mr. Scott Vuyan. Now, the reason why this is here is because he made an amazing video that Randy actually sent to me, I think yesterday morning, and I saw it, or was it this morning? It's all running together on me with everything that I got going on. But nonetheless, it's someone that I actually hadn't subscribed to, but I had watched previous videos. I actually had seen his previous Mac Mini setup, and he's one of the ones that probably like a couple of years ago when I first saw it was like, I was like, yo, this is so cool that I wanted to get me into 3D printing. And it had to do with everything that this man was able to do with his 3D printer. And his latest video has got me wanting the latest Bamboo Labs HD2. Like, that thing is not just a 3D printer, and now I'm tainted with that information, which is like, my goodness, like absolutely, like just need to get my hands on it, because it's not just a 3D printer, it's a plotting tool, it's a laser cutter, it does all of those things in an all-in-one unit, which is like all of the things that I would love to do, but like I wasn't gonna buy a Cricut and then buy another laser. Like, I'm even looking into laser engravers because I'm just absolutely like love all of those things. You know, I've researched lathes and I don't have the space for them, so the space for things is the most important thing, and that's what I love about the 3D printing, which is what I was able to use to create my Rig Junkie setups for these cameras. And it all started in a similar way. Now, if you haven't checked out Mr. Scott, that like he's been making a lot of things. As you can see, the iPhone's stand, that was another video that I had seen, the Mac Mini. But the first one that I had seen was this one, you see, But Why, which was the first portable Mac Mini setup, and that was 3 years ago. My goodness, how time flies, you see. But I had seen the videos and he had popped up my timeline, but he was someone that I actually didn't get to subscribe to. So I got to give a big shout out to Randy for sending me the latest version of the Mac Mini do-it-yourself kit, which these are the members only, which is this video right here. Right. And just an amazing video. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend. I've seen a lot of his content, even though I'm newly subscribed, so I won't be missing anything new, which is always what I hope to, you know, happen when I introduce somebody to Cities God. So I really hope that if you haven't done so, you might want to check out Mr. Scott Van Yu. And yeah, and that's it. And that's this week's Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. And we've done it, guys. We have completed episode 134. Complete in the books. Episode no. What am I saying? 234. Like, Guys, as you can see, it's been one hell of a month. I'm like 134. Like, where am I coming up with these numbers? No, episode 234. That's 234 consecutive weeks over 4 years, marching our way along to 5 years, right around the corner in December, of every single week live streaming right here on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. And I got to thank every single one of you Camera Junkie crew members who come out every single week to hang out. You guys make this my favorite place to be, which is, even when I need to get work done, I still need to make the work part of the fun. And I hope that you guys, learn something from it. So as always, thank you for making this my favorite hangout weekly and a huge part of my week to week, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So now, if this is your first time, then this is the time right now where you should be hitting the thumbs up because you made it to the end. Subscribe to the channel so this way you're notified of next week's episode, and if you haven't done so already, please be sure to put it on your calendar, right? And make sure that you have it set up for 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be in front of your TVs, in front of your computers to catch the Mr. Camera Junkie live stream every single week. And next week happening, it should be the next month, right? I'm going to go ahead and look at the calendar. Yes, it will be the 3rd. No, I'm doing it wrong. What day is it? Oh, no, we still got another week. Yes, so the 31st. Ooh, we had... Am I reading this right? Yep. 5 Saturdays in the month of May. Amazing. That's why I was getting ahead of myself. So yes, next week we're still in the month of May. So mark it down on your calendars. The 31st, we're going to be doing it all over again right here, 10 p.m. Eastern. On the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So everyone, as always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces while we do it all over again right here next week. So until then, talk to you.